Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Star and welcome back to the channel. It's another exciting look at a Star Wars comic this week. We have a banner issue for Legacy of Vader issue number 7, Reign of Kylo Ren. As always, subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, you know the drill. Hit that like button and hit that bell icon to be notified of future Star Wars videos. I talk about these comics every single week. If you're new to the channel, go back, look. I have all the High Republic, all the recent comics. Check it out. Getting into it, before we actually dive in deep, I just want to make an observation about the series in general, right? So this is subtitled Reign of Kylo Ren. So we know the subtitles of these comics usually denote a specific arc. For instance, issues 1 through 5 of a comic will say a certain title, then issues 6 through 10 will say a completely different title. The fact that we're 7 issues in and we're still using the Reign of Kylo Ren title leads me to believe this is not going to be a super long ongoing. I would imagine maybe even 10 issues will be the way to go, because if you look at the Battle of Jakku, I believe that was also 10 issues, or is it 12? Anyway, we are getting a different kind of side of Marvel, where they're doing smaller runs. Even the ongoing flagship is rumored to be only 10 issues. That's currently going right now. So just an observation I had, but getting into it. This is written by Charles Soule with artwork by Luke Ross. The idea of this issue, the current goings on about Kylo Ren, his mission, given him by Vanya, the aide to Darth Vader at Mustafar. He has access to a vault, and he will only give access to that vault that lies very big Sith secrets with Darth Vader and whatnot if Kylo Ren proves himself worthy, and he says he has to prove himself worthy by killing a Jedi. So that's where we left off in the last issue. He finds a very old Thelan Jedi that survived Order 66, and she force grips the lightsaber out of his hands, and she's explaining to him why she doesn't have her own lightsaber, and that brings us into the flashback. And I will say, this is one of the best economical, efficient uses of time for a kind of story like this. I really felt enveloped, I really felt engaged by her story, talking to Kylo Ren about how she survived Order 66, and she immediately destroys her lightsaber. She gets rid of her Jedi garb, and the best way for her to get out of, the signs of the Empire is to use the Jedi Mind Trick. So she actually masters the Jedi Mind Trick to fool the Imperials to think that she's dead, she's not on record anymore. She tests her skills by going against typical alien species that are relatively resistant to the Jedi Mind Trick, such as Toydarians and Hutts, which I thought was really, really cool. So to see this different side of Star Wars, it gives me a vibe of Jedi Survivor. And she even says at this point in her life, it's just to survive. She's not trying to restart the Jedi Order. She's just trying to, live to survive in this new era for the Jedi being persecuted. So I absolutely loved her story. We even get a look at a Rodian Jedi Knight. Come on here. We don't see enough of those guys. If we've ever seen one in canon, let me know. But at one point, she runs into Darth Vader, essentially, or Darth Vader gets the 13th sister, who is a scat, who was in that the Inquisitor book that came out by Delilah S. Dawson. So I love seeing that, as well as the 9th sister. And she gets her leg cut off. Grandea gets her leg cut off by the helicopter blade of an Inquisitor. So I just love seeing, first of all, the helicopter blade being effective. Second of all, that kind of gruesome injury in a Star Wars comic. It's pretty mature, seeing her leg just come straight off. And she mind tricks the Inquisitors to think that she is dead, that they don't have to, throw her in an incinerator or anything. They'll just leave her there, and they tell Vader, oh, she burned alive. There's craziness where she's able to actually use the Jedi Mind Trick on other Force sensitives like that. That's pretty powerful if you ask me. So she tells Kylo Ren this, and she eventually breaks the news to Kylo Ren, hey, your uncle Luke is dead. And at this point, it was not dawned on me that Kylo Ren wouldn't know that Luke is dead, because it was on the other side of the galaxy on Ahch-To, force projecting himself. So, Kylo Ren obviously gets into a frenzy, and he supposedly kills Grandea, but then she kind of levitates and has these crazy eyes and looks really kind of disturbing. So that leads me to believe, was she actually dead? Did he actually kill her? Or was she using a Jedi Mind Trick on Kylo Ren there and just making his anguish even worse? So Man, there's a lot to unpack in this issue. I really thought that it was cinematic. It really told a great kind of standalone story of Grandea surviving Order 66. And we got so many Order 66 stories these days. But I feel like this one stood out because it definitely focuses on something that we won't get to see as a specific power set of a Jedi. Not using combat, but using a Jedi mind trick to get by in life. So really brilliant storyline by Charles Soule there. One of the best creators in the Star Wars space to this date. But I would like to hear what you guys think about this very issue and this very story. Let me know in the comment section below. For more on Star Wars, you're in the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more on Star Wars. Well, that's going to do it for me, Starper. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.